Germans have a lot of experience with chemicals. If you can remember, during the Iran and Iraq war, the Germans would give chemical weapons to Saddam and he would dump them on the Iranian people. Then the Germans would say, send them over here so we can treat them. But in reality, they wanted to test and see how the chemical weapons act on humans. Another chemical thing the Germans have made is heroin. In the year 1898, the Bayer Company was successful in making heroin. When they made this drug, they said it's to treat tuberculosis and morphine addiction. Heroin basically comes from poppy flowers. Then, when they add chemical things to the opium that comes from the plant, it turns into heroin. It didn't take long that this thing the Germans have made took over the world, and it made millions of people get addicted. Like for example, in the US, where the statistics are accurate, and it's one of those countries where heroin addiction is very serious, 1/10 of a gram of heroin costs $20. And if an American addict wants to get high daily, they would have to pay $200 a day for heroin. Everybody knows that heroin is an extremely dangerous chemical drug, and in this video we want to see what heroin does to the human body. Before we answer that question, we have to see how heroin is used and how many heroin addicts are around the world. A not so accurate statistic says there are around 10 million addicts in the world. The National Institute of Health, or NIH, has a ballpark of the statistics of how many addicts are in the world. In this list, Russia is number 1 with 3 million heroin addicts. The US is number 2 with 948,000 addicts. And the rest of the world is behind these countries. The website says they can't exactly figure out how many addicts are around the world, but this is the ballpark they came up with. Even the countries themselves don't accept the statistics. Russia says we only have 1 million addicts. The new stats shows, unfortunately, the amount of addicts around the world are increasing, and just in the United States, it increased by 1.5%. And the age group that makes up the majority of these addicts are between 18 and 25 years old. You could either smoke, snort, or inject heroin, but the injection type is probably the most common way. The people that used heroin and quit explain, the first time you inject heroin, you feel happiness, your mouth gets dry, you get really hot, you get nauseous, you get uneven heartbeats and breathing, and you kind of have no control over your thoughts, and it feels like you're in a dream. This was the first time trying it. The second time they do it, if they want to feel the same as the first time, they gotta use a little bit more. And then it will get to a point where you use a lot and you will never feel what you felt the first time. That's why they use so much so they feel the first day and they end up overdosing and die. And heroin overdose doesn't let blood reach your brain and it causes you to die. There's another type of heroin addict that is not looking for that high anymore. They just want to use to feel normal again, like you and I. Because if they don't use it, the withdrawal symptoms are going to be so severe that it feels like your bones are getting crushed. The first group suffered from an overdose, but the second group are going to last a long time, but they're going to damage their body really bad. A lot of heroin addicts, because of dirty needles, will get hepatitis C, and this causes your liver to fail. It will also cause your kidneys to fail. Severe damage to your lungs, skin infection, and even if you smoke it or inject it, your mouth is gonna get extremely sick. When your mouth gets extremely dry by using heroin, it will make your mouth swell up, especially your gums. And when that happens to your gums, your teeth don't have any support and they keep falling off. and the sex drive starts to fail as well. Heroin addiction is basically a body addiction, even though it attacks your mental, but it's mainly your body. When you don't use heroin, your body feels like it's dying. The people that were addicted and quit the drug said this. The longer you use, the longer it will take you to quit. Dr. Lance Dode says people that want to quit alcohol and heroin are basically the same style, and unfortunately only 5 to 10% of them can pull it off, and the rest of them, meaning the 90 to 95%, continue to go back to it. An addict is kind of like a really sick person, and all the prescription drugs they offer them are another business as well. The drug companies make the person addicted to something else. This is a huge issue in America. There are pills that help you quit, but unfortunately, 4 million Americans are addicted to these pills. If they don't take the pill once a day, they feel withdrawals. A lot of pills that I don't even want to name them. Death stats across the US shows the people that die under the age of 50, most of them are because of drug use. I want to say something, especially to the younger people. Never try these things out. Because the people that got addicted to it just wanted to try it out, but they couldn't put it away after that. And the people that quit are kind of having withdrawals across their whole life, because the drug will always stay in the head. Some cocaine addicts explain that there is not a day that I don't think about cocaine. The stats we gave are from the US, and they're highly accurate. The other countries, we're not so sure if they're accurate or not. Take it easy in life. Take care of yourself and enjoy simple things in life.